much for coming back for episode 5. This week in our home has been a little heavier emotionally. My daughter has had a couple of hard days, as we all do. So we've been focusing on reading literature, teaching us about when our brain becomes overwhelmed, how reaction takes over, and how we have to take a step back and take a deep breath in. This week, when we went to Taekwondo, she had a little bit of an emotional time because they were having so much fun and they were competing, and she started to cry because she felt that her losing was so big. And it was in that moment that I had to think about how she felt before just saying, oh, it's okay, it's not about winning. I told her, I was like, you tried your best, and that's what matters most. I held her until she was able to return back to class. Another instance was we were all playing together, and she asked me to do something, and because it didn't happen in that moment, she burst. And I told her, baby, do you see what just happened? And because we've been reading about how our brain responds to overwhelm, she was able to take that moment and realize what happened without me having to tell her. This is not something that we've just started now. We've been on this emotional regulation journey together for a while, and even as an adult, I'm still learning to regulate. I realized how important this is because when I was younger, I didn't feel confident in myself. Being made fun of by peers or by family. As a young adult, I kind of looked outward for feeling better about myself, whether it was like always looking for praise when I was working or from my own family, just trying to do it right for everyone else instead of doing it for myself, loving myself and doing things for me and not for the outward in. I don't want my children to feel like they need the world to tell them who they are. I want them to know that it's not confidence is made by constant outside praise, but that confidence is knowing who you are inside and doing things for you. So an example, I realized my daughter is always asking me, Mommy, do you like this? She could be drawing, she could be doing something with modeling clay, she could even just be picking out an outfit. And I constantly tell both my daughters, do you like it? How does it make you feel? Oh, I see you work really hard on that. Oh, look at that color choice. Can you tell me a story behind what you're creating? So it always reinstills that in me so that they don't look for outside praise all the time. Yes, I'm not saying we shouldn't tell our kids that we love them and that their artwork is beautiful, but just monitoring how we say it and how much we say it so that they look for confidence and praise within themselves, and that the happiness comes from within and not from the outside. How I practice this in our home is, for a long time now, we say words of affirmation in front of a mirror. These are the positive affirmations that I have my girls say in front of the mirror. I am happy, smart, positive, honest, wonderful, important, hardworking, bright, unique, beautiful, kind, friendly, strong, loved, brave, grateful, forgiving, creative, helpful. This is the chart that I've added. Sorry about that. My feelings are okay. I can take a breath. I am safe to be myself. I don't need to be perfect. I can make mistakes and grow. I can trust myself. I am enough as I am. I am learning. I can try again. I love myself. I can handle hard moments. I can take a deep breath. I also made these things myself so that they would feel it had more meaning, that I took the time to do it for them. Saying those words of affirmation every day, whether it be before we go to school, or even sometimes I catch them doing it when they get home, right before bed, it's never forced. I encourage them to do it because I think once we repeat things to ourselves and we follow through with it in everyday life, about being brave, about sometimes not wanting to go to school, but putting on that armor to be able to get through the day, being hardworking, they work really hard, whatever they do, taekwondo, wanting to help around the house, doing their homework, working on a project. Those words carry so much power because when we tie it in with emotional regulation of getting our children to understand their feelings and know that they can pause and start over and learn to trust themselves, when even as adults we're still learning to trust ourselves, to know that breathing for that moment brings you back. That breath is the power. And afterwards, they realize that the awareness of having that power is confidence. The way that our children see themselves now becomes that voice. Sorry, I didn't know I was gonna get emotional. That they carry with themselves later in life. And I want that voice to be kind. There's no one perfect way to do this. We choose how we help them see themselves. I am not perfect by any means. When I mess up, I apologize. I tell my daughters, I made a mistake. I should have paused. I should have taken a breath. Sometimes it's hard to pause, but by acknowledging and apologizing, we're teaching them that mistakes are lessons that we learn from, and that no one's perfect. As long as you try your best, that is all that matters. Confidence isn't built by always getting it right. It's built by feeling safe enough to be human. It's about having the awareness to repair, build awareness, and break the cycle. Thank you so much again for joining me in this journey of Trust Your Motherhood.